What is up, OFP Nation? Welcome to another episode of Forex Focus, where we talk all about mastering the art of trading with a strong mindset. And today's topic is the silent struggle dealing with depression in trading. I just want to know, for those of you who are with us live, let us know in the comments where you are tuning in from. What is your name? Where are you from? So that we can shout you out. And Nick, as always, are you there, my friend? Can you hear me loud and clearly?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Perfect. So to those of you who are live, thank you for joining us live. And for those of you who are watching the replay, thank you for joining us for the replay. Today's topic of discussion is actually something that was inspired by a trader from our who joined us on our live last Monday, and depression came up, and it got me and Nick thinking about how this is something that a lot of traders actually do struggle with. So I thought it would be great to open up the dialogue on this topic. But one thing that I do want to say is, as a disclaimer, right? I'm not a licensed therapist. Nick is not a licensed therapist, of course. So this is not to give, we're not here to give any kind of advice or therapy or anything like that. We just wanted to have an open and honest discussion with traders, kind of find out what kinds of things you guys might deal with. If you feel like this is something you come across or you've come across in your journey. Um, Hi, Miranda. Miranda, I was thinking about you. I was hoping you were going to join us live today because, it's been a little while. Um, Thank you for joining us today. It's so lovely to see you. Yeah. So we thought it would be good to kind of talk about this and have a discussion with our community. Come talk to us and share with us what you think. Um, and then, of course, we will always recommend that if you are struggling with any mental health, that we want to encourage you to seek professional help, regarding that. So without further ado, I think we're going to dive in to the topic at hand, that is depression, right? All righty.
Yes,
Let me make
presión.
depression.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Man. So, okay. So, Nick, are you ready to dive into some of these questions?
I was born ready, yo.
So, okay. So, our first question that we want to address today is why do you think trading environments, especially the pressure or the isolation, um, why do you think that can trigger emotional struggles that many people don't expect? And of course, you guys in the comments, please, you are so welcome to be a part of this conversation. So when we think about trading environments, right, and the different things that we have to step into, why do you think that oftentimes traders run into emotional battles or struggles that they probably did not expect? And Nick, whatever comes to your mind, you're more than welcome to share.
So I can go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I think mm, about trading environments, especially if there's like isolation, first of all, um, you'll be alone with your thoughts. You know what I mean? Like if you're just the only trader that you know, that is a problem. Like I would say you would need a community, not even just any random community, but like a positive community where you can talk with traders or even just individual traders. It doesn't even need to be like a whole community. Like you can have friends who are traders, like who trade from time to time and everything like that. That can help with your psych. But then if you're just alone, isolated, the thoughts get to you. and whatnot, then you just to be like in a confused state, honestly. Then you'll be like, even probably feeling like giving up and just be like, oh, this trading thing probably doesn't work because you're not, there's no feedback. Like, there's no feedback from you on trading, and there's no feedback from other people within your circle. Like, if nobody else does trading, you find that probably that's why other people don't do tradings, because it doesn't really work, and probably it's a scam and whatnot. So all of that just starts weighing on you. And then also pressure. If it's an environment where there's a lot of pressure, I don't know if I can say a hedge fund or something, but something similar to that, like where it's probably an office where everybody's trading, trying to reach certain benchmarks and whatnot, or it's a community where they're highly competitive, that can lead to some sort of depression, because you'll be thinking you're not good enough and all of that. It's not like those people who are even winning will be like, hey, no, where you struggling? Let me help you out. They might be those people who just like to show off and take the prize and everything like that. So that's the thing.
While you were talking, Nick, I thought about, how they say comparison is the thief of joy? Have you guys ever heard of that? Have you heard of that, Nick?
You said what?
Have you ever heard of the saying that comparison is the thief of joy?
Yes, it certainly is.
Yeah,
In all walks of life, actually.
in all walks of life, but especially in trading, right? I think
Mhm.
what gets a lot of traders is when they follow traders, like, for example, on YouTube and things like that, and they see them making all this money, thousands of dollars, and they think, oh, I should be making that much too. And so when they aren't making that much money, they're comparing themselves to the success of other traders, or the success of other traders they believe they're seeing. And they think, I must, I must not be good enough or something. So we begin to compare ourselves to others, and that really can tear us down, I think, mentally and emotionally. Um, I say this all the time, like, one of the worst things that I personally think that we could do in our trading journey is pursuing a trading journey without having, anything else in place, because that could be another thing that can really foster an environment for struggles, mentally, and struggles with depression, when you feel a desperate need to provide for yourself or provide for your family, and you are relying only on trading to do it for you. And so when you are in those seasons where you cannot, you are not, it's just you're down, right? You're down in your numbers and you're trading, and you're not able to create the kind of financial stability for yourself in your trading just yet, in order to meet your personal needs or meet the needs of your loved ones. Absolutely, I can see how something like that can break you down emotionally too. I'm having a hard time. I'm feeling down. I'm feeling depressed. I want to provide for my family, but I can't. My trading is not consistent. I'm having a hard time. And now it just feels like the whole weight of the world is on your shoulders. I would say that this is especially the case for men, because men tend to be the providers in their families, right? And so that sense of failure as a man, I feel like it hits men so much harder than it might hit women. Um, Nick, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah, that's actually true. I certainly agree. Yeah, like that kind of pressure to want to provide as a man always hits harder. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so mhm.
Yeah. So Miranda shares, in my opinion, when you trade alone, you need to deal with losses, disappointment alone. That is so true. It is a lonely journey for many traders, which is why I'm such a huge advocate for connecting to community, and making genuine friendships in this community so that you can have real heart-to-heart conversations, um, with other traders, right? I think too many people like to put up this front, uh, like like they're successful in trading, and so then for the traders who are not finding success, they almost feel like there's no one they can talk to, no one that they can talk to who will understand, no one that they can talk to who will relate, because it seems like everybody that they see is successful as a trader, right? So who can I possibly talk to who can understand my pain right now? Um, Let me know if you guys have ever felt that way at all. But Miranda, I agree. Sometimes the opinions of other people about the decisions that you're making for yourself and your trading journey can also really affect you mentally and emotionally, and just, yeah, feeling like you're alone and you have no one else that you can really talk to. Um, yeah, that couldn't be more true. She also shared, you end up feeling like a disappointment and people thinking that you are a joke and a failure. And a lot of things in life that you pursue, whether it's trading or it's another business endeavor, there's always going to be people who are not going to take you seriously. There's this saying that goes, build it and then they will come. And sometimes people just won't believe you until you've already made it, right? And then they think you
Yeah.
were an overnight success when they don't realize that it took you several months or years to get to where you are. You're not an overnight success. Baby, I've been working on this for a long time. So,
Yeah, bro.
yeah, boo.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, absolutely. So let's transition. What are some common signs traders should look out for that might indicate burnout or early symptoms of depression? I will say one first.
Uh,
Uh, what did I have? Losing interest in things out, like in losing interest in your trading, but also losing interest in things outside of your trading. Are some. Nick, you got some more?
um, yeah, like, mm, for burnout, well, of course, getting extremely tired. That's one thing you can relate to, like where you find you're probably trading a lot and then sleeping late, but not actually seeing any results, and then that just leads to another cycle where now, even when you have like a certain specific plan, you're not really following it because you're just like, what's the use? Something like that. Like those are the first signs. Like it's gonna be burnout, then depression. Then when you're just gonna be like, oh, what's the use of me putting up that trade? I'm sure it'll wait for me and everything like that. Like it just turns into a certain kind of frustration. And yeah, like you said, you start losing interest in actually trading. So yeah, those are the ones which I actually believe can happen to a person.
Yeah, I mean, I would also say things like just, obviously we know depression affects every aspect of our lives. So, probably even trouble sleeping, or focusing throughout the day, especially if you're a trader who is trying to be full-time in trading, and you're not hitting the financial goals that you need to hit. I could definitely see how that would impact your ability to focus throughout the day. Even anxiety, so feeling anxiety before you even sit in front of your chart, before you even open your chart. And I would even say obsessing a bit, like obsessing over your losses, obsessing over your missed opportunities. Um, it's like you're really constantly overthinking your trading and every aspect of your trading. It like consumes you in a way that's not healthy. Nick, I don't know if you have anything else you want to share.
No, no, that's all on my end.
So let's talk some tips then. Like I said, guys, we are not licensed therapists, so we're not here to give you therapy. Although, of course, we highly encourage you guys to seek professional help if you are having a really hard time mentally and emotionally, and it's impacting every area of your life, right? Not just your trading, but your day to day, can't sleep, you're not motivated to keep your house clean, you've got pizza boxes, you know, all those things. I'm just trying to give you guys visuals and examples of what depression can start to look like. You haven't combed your hair in 3 days.
Yeah.
And even though we can laugh about it, right? We know that these are real things that people suffer and they battle with, right? So obviously we are not the therapist here, but definitely we can raise awareness on something that we know happens in to traders. um so what are some practical tips, Nick? You got any that you can think of off the top of your head that could be helpful?
That can be helpful to.
I guess managing our emotions, or like or those feelings that could, you know, ways that we can foster a healthy environment for ourselves
Okay.
to
Right.
avoid falling into
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
funk.
Okay, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you for that. That helps me a lot. So, yeah, there are many ways. Like I said, um, it's great to join communities. Like for me, I've had a lot of people like who are traders. Maybe I should even just create my own community. But either ways, yeah, like on different forums. Let's take talk for example, Facebook. Like there are different groups you can get into, especially those who have one goal in mind. That's to make money. And if you're like from the same area or almost same vicinity, you'll find that they'll hit you up. They'll be like, "Hey, what's up? How long have you been trading?" and everything like that. Yeah, if you just take the time to connect with people, you find that you learn certain things about them and how it can even also help in your trading, stuff like that. Like for me personally, I would say for most of the communities that I've been in, like online, most of them all came from like South Africa. Crazy enough. So yeah, like I feel the trading community in South Africa is like really strong. Like everybody there wants to make money. Like they even take crazy risks to make that kind of money. Either ways, like they gamble a lot, I would say. But either ways, they all have that one all go to like make money. So if you like sometimes surround yourself around those people, again, you may find people who don't like gamble like that, but are actually swing traders and maybe are looking for long-term success and everything like that. That will just instill in you some positivity, I would say. Yeah, because there's no one strategy that fits all. So when you just start to um yeah, interact with such people, it will bring some positivity back into your life and prevent you to fall into that whole depression mode where he just decided to give up. Because I've actually seen that actually happen. Like, there's a friend of mine who's like from Australia. He was like a trader. He lost over 40,000 US dollars in trading. Yeah, and it took a toll on him, and he was just like, "Ah, screw trading. I don't want to do it anymore." Then I don't know, a few months later, he decided to find his account, still lost that amount. But yeah, it's one of those things like where if they don't have that kind of support, somebody can really deteriorate badly. Yeah, so mhm.
Absolutely. I just want to say also, it's helpful to remind yourself that you are not your P&L. You are not your profit and your loss. Um, and I think the reason why so many traders fall into a funk in their trading, there's a couple things that come to mind, which I know we've discussed before. But the first thing is um, focusing on where they're not at instead of looking at where they are no longer at, right? So we're focusing so much on what we haven't accomplished that we fail to realize what we have accomplished, right? Looking at the small ways we have won, the small ways we have made progress, even if it's something as simple as just showing up every day and following your trading plan every day, even if you're just taking losses, but just giving yourself enough credit for what you are doing, giving yourself enough credit because you're even trying when there are people who won't even do that. um so you got to give yourself enough credit and know that your trading journey and your success is so much more than your profit and loss. And try not to beat yourself up because your numbers are not exactly where you want them to be. um, they will get there as long as you continue in your journey and your process. I think another thing that comes in mind also is godly. I'm feeling like Dory right now, where I'm having short term memory loss, y'all. Oh
In
my God.
Finding Nemo.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Finding Nemo. Yeah. Uh, I can tell you guys stories about that, but I won't do that. But yeah, I think that's a big thing right there. A big ding.
Uh-huh.
It's a big thing. That's a big thing. Like I'm from Jamaica. That's a big
Yep.
thing. Uh, you are not, you are not your profit and loss. Um, and as always, I would say, like I mentioned earlier, it helps a lot when you don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself by, um, you know, not having a savings or anything like that before you quit your job to do trading full time. When you put yourself in an environment where you create unnecessary pressure to perform in your trading, that's going to impact your ability to perform. And then when you're struggling to perform, you put yourself, you know, at risk of falling into some emotional turmoil. So really try not to put yourself in those kind of positions, right? If you don't need to quit yet your job yet or go full time in trading yet, if you don't have your trading business plan per se completely laid out for you in a way where you know that if you have a bad month or two or three, you'll you'll be
Yeah.
okay financially, where you're not going to feel pressure, but that kind, the amount of pressure that could really drag you down. Nick, you look like you want to say something.
No, when you said falling, the song that came to mind was a song for Michael Jackson. It's that falling in love. That's making me high. It's the feeling in love. Makes me wanna trade, 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 trade.
Okay.
Yeah. I
See,
don't know. We think in music, you and I. So I'm sorry.
sorry guys for that intermission. From time to time, we got to do that. Do you remember when I said that I was
Yeah.
like Dory? I was having an interview with a trader and I was telling him
Yeah.
something. Miranda, if you're here, I was telling him something, right? And then I was like, "Oh, I forgot what I was going to say." And he goes, "Oh, it's okay." And then I said, "Oh, I remember now." And he goes, "Okay, great. What was it?" And I go, "I don't remember." and it, and it happened that fast, like literally that fast. I said, I am too young for my brain cells to be frying. Like,
Indeed, indeed.
I'm too young for this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love that these comments that Miranda shared, some getting time away from trading, making time for friends and family, make time for relaxation, time for exercise, healthy habits. Oh my goodness, healthy habits are absolutely so, so important for your mental health. They really, really are. Connecting yourself to those people and to those things that can really lift up your spirits. Although, I know sometimes depending on how deep you are in your battle with depression, sometimes, um, there's only so much some of these things can do to help. Um, but I think it's a start. It's definitely a start. All right. So I guess with that, blame it on the charts. You know what, Barry? Blame it on the. You remember that, Jamie?
Yes,
Jamie. See, now I'm
of
throwing some.
course. Hmm.
All right. Um, so at this point in time, guys, we would just want to take this time, as a reminder. Like I said, we wanted to open this dialogue, right? Because we realized that there are a lot of traders really battling with mental health. Um, and trading doesn't make it any easier. Struggling with trading doesn't make it any easier. And so we wanted to open up this dialogue. I think I had a period of time where I was feeling really down and I didn't realize that I was in a funk until I really stopped to take a look around and realize, wow, I haven't been taking care of myself. Um, I haven't, you know, and I think that's the thing about depression. That's why it's called a silent struggle. It's not silent because you're dealing with it quietly by yourself. It's silent because it can really sneak up on you. It can really sneak up on you and you don't even realize that you're just going through the motions of your everyday life and you really are struggling, until you take a look around and you're like, "Dang, like I've been I haven't been loving myself." I've been feeling so down in the dumps and I haven't been doing this or haven't been doing that. And it's so much more than just your trading. Um, so we want to encourage you guys, to just really take a look at yourself and take a look around and see where, you may possibly be battling, mentally and emotionally. And we just want you to know, number one, it's okay. It's normal. It's a part of life and it's a part of the journey. But two, just know that you don't have to continue in that by yourself. So we definitely want to encourage you, if you need to connect, um, with community or connect with professionals who can really hear you out and help you through whatever it is you might be struggling with. We encourage you to do that. You know, Nick, do you have anything that you want to say?
No, not at this point in time, ma'am.
Miranda, darling, do you have anything you'd like to say? I'll pass the mic to you, dear. Here you go. Yes, let us know. Let us know in the comments. We'll give you a moment to respond. All right. In the meantime, I just want to share that we do have a promotion going on right now. It is our spring Tris promotion, where we have our top 3 selling accounts, where you can get up to 20% off of either 25K, 50K, or 100K. So definitely go ahead and check that out on our website. We do have the promotional codes, which is really just spring and then whatever the account you want to get. So spring 25K, spring 50K, spring 100K. And that will be for the 25, 50, and 100K with an 80% profit split. And I believe a 5% daily drawdown. So go ahead, take advantage of that. You can get instantly funded for $320 on a 100K account, which is pretty awesome in comparison to evaluation challenges. Marinda, not now. Great convo as always. Very relevant. Thank you. We appreciate your love. We appreciate your support. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us and engaging with us and being a part of the conversation. We really appreciate it. So if you got any value out of today's episode, please be sure to share it. There may be a trading friend out there who just might need a nudge and a reminder, that they're not alone and they can overcome this. They can do it. Go ahead and share. Give us a big thumbs up. Leave us some love in the comments. And as always, stay sharp, keep a winning mindset, and remember that with Forex Focus, success is just one trade away.
Okay.
One trade away.
Yeah.
We will be back next Monday with our next episode. And we look forward to coming and hanging out and talking to you guys again. Until then, happy trading. Have a great week. And we'll see you next week.